Hey guys, welcome back to the Shudder Slaughterhouse. I'm Daniel, and yes, I'm here with another week of stuff I watch right there on Shudder, and going to give little mini reviews for all of them. So let's get started. First, I want to talk about Seance. It is 2021. It is a Shudder exclusive, and the basic plot of it is this new girl shows up at this like prep school, private school, whatever you want to call it. However, it's following the events of this other young girl who recently just passed away, died in a pretty brutal fashion. So this is the perfect example of not judging a book by its cover, because honestly, and I mean you shouldn't do that in general, but like when it comes to movies, especially horror films, I will judge the shit out of a cover. Like I will look at the cover and be like, "Fuck that cover! I ain't watching it." When you see like the poster for this or the screenshot they have on Shudder, you see all the girls lined up like they're posing for some kind of CW TV show, and the word "seance" is written in pink. Looks like it's written like in pink lipstick, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? Like, am I watching Riverdale? This fucking the chilling adventures of Sabrina or some bullshit. I don't know. It looked god awful to me. But the only thing that kept me around was Simon Barrett. He wrote and directed this. I'm a fan of his work on VHS, and then he was also the writer on, co-writer, or was he full writer? I don't know. Either way, You're Next, and I really loved You're Next. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I checked it out, and I was really surprised by how good Seance was. Yeah, it does kind of fall into the tropes of like Mean Girls meets, I guess, like Poltergeist, maybe. I don't know. But it does kind of go into that whole thing. But the characters are pretty, they're not just one dimensional. They actually do kind of seem like they're, well, most of them. Some of them are kind of, they're taken out shortly. So it's like you don't really get enough time to explore all of them. But for the most part, the characters are pretty, well developed and fleshed out. I think what I liked about this was the same thing I loved about Your Next was that in Your Next, you think you're watching this home invasion movie, and you are, but then like it gets turned on its head. It goes a different direction you wouldn't expect it to. And they do the same thing in this one, where you think you're watching like one subgenre of horror, and then by the end, it's like, oh shit, I'm watching something totally different. And I like that. I really wasn't expecting that. No, it's a badass movie. It's really cool. I dig it. I love it. Especially the third. I think the third act is my favorite part. It's just balls to the wall, fucking insanity, and I loved it. Acting's really good. The whole cast did phenomenal. And the score, the music. Oh my god, it's also just fucking awesome. I would highly recommend this. They gave it a 4 out of 5. Right here in the Shudder community, and I agree. I gave it 4 out of 5 too. Phenomenal, way better than I expected. Ain't better than it probably had any right to be. And again, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Change your poster or whatever. So that's that one. We're moving right along now. I watched another episode of Creepshow. Of course, this is the 2021. We're on season 3 of the show. It is a Shudder original series. And the the two stories we get this one, and I'm sorry I'm blanking on the name. Was one Skeletons in the Closet, I believe, and The Familiar. I wrote everything else down except for the title. Anyways, the first one basically is about this guy who he has his own like horror movie prop museum, which is pretty fucking awesome. And however, there's a rival prop museum as well, which is James Ramar, however you pronounce his name, Dexter's dad. Fucking Dexter's dad is the guy who runs that one. But basically, they're kind of vying for the same prize kind of thing, and there's a rival there. I love it because what I love about Creepshow in general, the entire series, it's a love letter to horror. It really is. And so I'm down for all the winks and nudges and nods to horror classics, and they show you. I love it. I really do, and I feel like this is just kind of like one of those. It's just it really is all about just being a fan of horror. Not gonna lie, old boy got a smoking hot girlfriend. Like this guy, the horror guy, he's all of us. A paunchy neckbeard fuck, but he's got himself a smoking hot girl. kudos. Game respects game. Anyways, people on Shudder gave this a 4 out of 5, and I'm gonna have to agree with them. In fact, I'm probably gonna say this is my watch of the week, or my pick of the week. It's tough between this and Seance. Seance is really good. I will say that after I kind of slept on, or after the night I slept on Seance, I don't know if I'd recommend it like I would Creepshow. I just think Creepshow is just incredible. Probably one of the best things. Aside from any Joe Bob special, I think Creepshow is like the #1 show on Shudder. Like, Joe Bob trumps all. That's not even up for debate. But after Joe Bob, then I think Creepshow is definitely the show. This is Shudder's thing right here. Top show on Shudder. My pick of the week. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the second episode, The Familiar. I believe it was the guy that played Babysitter. The comedic guy. He had like a YouTube channel or something like that. Anyways, he's playing basically like is he like a real estate guy? I don't know what the fuck he is. He works in an office, but basically what happens is you find out that there is something evil following him, and it's called a familiar. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if this is a real thing or something that's invented for the show, but if you're familiar with the familiars, you may like this one. Pretty good stuff. To me, and it's directed by Joe Lynch, and I love Joe Lynch, but it just felt like the ending, I don't know, it is kind of, I don't know, it's a little convoluted, I felt like. By the time I got to the end, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are the rules again? What's going on? And it seemed like it just kind of mowed to the end. I don't know. It is what it is, though. And I think I know how it ends. I think I know who the familiar winds up being. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong on that. But anyways, it's pretty good. Like I said, I'll definitely got to give the nod to the first half. I think the first half is the stronger half of the two. So up next, we got The Hammer House of Horror. This was from 1980. This is a British TV show. And the basic premise for this, it's just an anthology series from fucking Hammer Studios. That's like, that is like, that's fucking horror, especially in Britain, or the UK, sorry. Wherever, I'm sorry, I don't know what the difference, UK, Great Britain, it's all the same thing. It's London. I'm gonna get some hate from now on. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, but they, it's anthology horror. So it does everything from like, I don't know, you have like haunted houses and witches and demons and all kinds of spooky shit. Every episode is a standalone story. And they are, I'm not gonna lie, mostly they're hit. I really dig them for the most part. I think the first one, Time Witch or Witch Time or something like that, it has Patricia Quinn, Magenta from Rocky Horror. It has topless Patricia Quinn. I love it. Couldn't ask for anything more. Love Patricia. I'm not gonna lie, as I'm watching this, like even I've seen the series once before. I've seen it a long time ago, but I just remember like even now watching it, thinking like, Patricia Quinn in her prime. I don't know, maybe even now. I mean, hell, I'm sure she's a little older, but I'll be down. If she came to my house claiming to be a witch and everything, I'm just going along with it. Like, I will be her love slave. I don't give a shit. It's Patricia Quinn. So anyway, but I think that was a really solid one. There's one, I forget what it's called, but it's like the Groundhog's Day. It's a time loop where every time the guy gets up, he's reliving the same day, but it's different. Like, every time he wakes up, the surrounding, like the people are the same for the most part, but I don't know, there's just something off about it. Like, I don't know. I dug it. I really dug it. You know where it's going. Like, right off the bat, what's going on, but still solid. There's one, Peter Cushing, legendary Peter Cushing, and a very young Brian Cox, and that's a good one. Basically, it's about this guy who owns a pet store, but he has like this like zoo in his basement. And anyways, he goes to trap Brian Cox, who's a former prisoner, and that's kind of how he tricks him. He makes him think that there's a safe. Hey, there's a safe of money up there. And when he goes for it, trap door, and now he's once again caught in a cage. I won't say anything beyond that, but it's really solid. And then the last two, they do kind of an Invasion of the Vice Snatchers type thing, which was really good. That one started off really boring, though. Like, the whole episode was like, what the fuck are they doing? And that's what I will say. When this show misses, it really misses. And a lot of episodes, it's like the opening, the cold open, and the last scene, or I'll say the last act. We'll go last act of the episode is solid, but then like everything between is boring and sucks. Except for the Mark of Satan. I love that episode. Another just really solid one. But anyways, yeah. So 13 Tales. And what was interesting about this was I did not know this until I researched it recently. But apparently they were going to make this whole series lead up to a new Dracula movie that Christopher Lee was going to be a part of. And for whatever reason, because Terrence Fisher died, they scrapped the whole thing. And so instead of having what basically will be was like all these different tales were happening, they were kind of like an omen. They were, foretelling the coming of darkness, the resurrection of Dracula. And for whatever reason, I know I just said Terrence Fisher died, but I'm thinking to myself, go on without him. Like, shit, he would have loved that. Like, it's not disrespectful at all. And I would have loved to see another, Christopher Lee Dracula. But we never got it. Instead, they just rewrote, like, the last episodes, I think maybe Mark and Satan, and just a standalone 13 episodes of terror. So, yeah, people here at Shudder, they gave it 4 out of 5. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 only because it's not solid all the way through. There are a couple episodes that just fucking flat out suck. In fact, I got the box set. It's way over there. I don't get it. The box set cover, it shows this woman looking at this grave, and there's a kid on the grave. It's like the worst episode. I'm like, why did you grab that image for your box set when there's so many great moments in this series that you could have, took from? But it is what it is. But no, I mean, like I said, I'm not crapping on it. Overall, it's pretty good. I like certain episodes a lot, but then the episodes that I don't like are the ones that really kind of tank it. So it evens out. 3 out of 5, middle of the road. And finally, we got Sugar Hill from 1974. And basically the premise of this is Sugar Hill, that's the name of this girl. Basically what it is her boyfriend gets killed by these mobsters. They're not really like mafia, but they're organized crime. A crime syndicate, whatever you want to call them. And so she decides to get revenge. So she goes to her mother, who is a voodoo priestess, and they summon up this demon. And this dude decides, for her soul, because of that price, but he will help her with his army of zombies, which is fucking awesome. And we're talking more like voodoo zombies, not flesh zombies, not Romero zombies. But with his help of the zombies, they decide to take out these guys one by one. Really liked it, really dug it. I went through a phase because I'm definitely always swinging on Tarantino's nuts. That whenever I watched Jackie Brown and kind of discovered what blaxploitation cinema was, went back and watched a lot. So, I love the genre, or the subgenre, if you will. Big fan of that. Yeah, it was supernatural, falls in like Blackula and I'm blanking on the other one. Not Scream, Blackula Scream, but there's another one I was thinking about. But either way, you add supernatural element to this. Really good stuff. I will say, I love the performances. I wish it was a little more sleazy and violent and brutal. That's my only big complaint. This was MGM though. Like, this was literally like a big studio just kind of getting in on the blaxploitation. I mean, I know they've done it forever, but it's just like clearly they're more cleaned up and polished whenever MGM's kind of behind the helm. So we don't get no nudity, and the violence is a lot of killings happen off screen, but the story is very solid, and overall, it's like an hour and a half. And this thing is all killer, no filler. Like, literally, they just get right into, bam, boyfriend gets killed. Bam, she's talking to, this demon for her soul and getting revenge. Bam, they start killing them off. Bam, bam, bam. Like, it really is it goes right down the line. People on Shudder gave this thing 5 out of 5 skulls. I'm going to be a bit of a wet blanket, go 3 out of 5, only because I wanted more titties and blood. I'm sorry, I'm a fucking pig. I'm a man. I'm a pig. I'm sorry. And I'm not apologizing for my gender, but goddamn it, I love titties and blood. And I love seeing them in movies, and I didn't get titties and blood in this movies hardly at all. Got a little bit of blood. No titties. So, so I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. Again, solid film. I would say all these are solid. You may want to cherry pick the Hammer House of Horror, but everything else, definitely check out. So, and I said my pick of the week is definitely Creepshow still. So, with that said, guys, I've been Dan Richardson. Till next time, thank you for watching.